Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here. I'd like first to thank Economist and the organizers for the opportunity to present the recent developments of Cyprus shipping, but also to explain how this sector is navigating through the crisis and the current challenges. Exactly a year ago, we have presented a strategic vision for Cyprus shipping. It appears in this compressed paper boat. You can scan on the QR code and access to the strategy, which appears in Greek, English, and Japanese. And this strategy is not only a political statement of how we think and how we vision Cyprus shipping, but also is a new mindset and a new working approach on how we are perceiving this sector. Is under the name Sea Change 2030, where for us C stands for sustainability, E for extrovertness, and A for adaptability. The whole idea is we would like to become more extroverted, to collect intelligence, to listen to the views of the industry, the NGOs, evaluate all this data and intelligence, and become more adaptable in order to adapt it to our legal framework, policies and incentives, and then turn it to sustainable actions. So with this strategy, we have presented 35 sustainable actions, and the way this strategy is structured and the Shipping Deputy Ministry is that each directorate and each person in the Shipping Deputy Ministry has a task to deliver on these 35 actions. I'm glad to say that we have already managed to deliver 22 out of these actions. When it comes to the main challenges of the sector, which is, as in every other sector, decarbonization and digitalization, I must say that Cyprus is the only EU member state, and possibly globally, that we have launched green tax incentives. So ship owners, ship operators, when they demonstrate meaningful emission reductions beyond their global commitments, they can enjoy up to 30% discount on their tonnage tax. This is an EU-approved scheme, and it's a live document. The more stricter is becoming the global and EU commitments, the more stricter is becoming this scheme. And of course, this is not only to incentivize the shipping industry to move towards greener approaches, but it's also very important to know at any given time the proportion of our fleet that is considered green. This incentive is also very important for financial and banking institutions to consider and evaluate projects, because what is green now is $1 million question. Nobody has a clear view what is considered green at this stage, which is, let's say, a transitional phase till we reach a carbon neutral economy. So this is very important for us, but we are not only doing this, we are just facilitating also our ship owners flying the Cyprus flag to use biofuels or alternative non-fossil fuels in their practices. Plus, we are actively involved in all the deliberations at EU under the Fit for 55 and globally in order to have a framework to ensure meaningful emission reductions when it comes to shipping, signaling that the sector is of global nature and climate change is a problem that faces no borders. So this is very important to signal that we need global solutions. So we are actively involved in this process in order to ensure that we will soon have a global framework in place. When it comes to digitalization, I'm glad to inform you that the Shipping Deputy Ministry has already launched and signed a contract for the full digitalization of the Shipping Deputy Ministry. Is a project under the EU Resilience and Recovery Facility with very tight deadlines, and our aim is to become fully paperless by beginning of 2024, but the progress on the whole digitalization of the sector will be evident towards the end of this year by having a mobile app. So any service of us that goes digital, you can experience it through your mobile apps. We have recently launched, agreed and adopted a bill on the establishment of the maritime entity, which basically means that all the shipping companies will be registered through simplified procedures under the Shipping Deputy Ministry and not through the company's registrar. So this is a major development towards completing the one-stop shipping shop. Companies are already taxed under the special EU-approved tonnage tax regime within the umbrella of the Shipping Deputy Ministry. They will now be registered under this, under our entity, so they will experience, let's say, one-stop shipping service. When it comes now to crisis, and when I'm saying crisis, I do mean the COVID pandemic, but also the Ukraine war, and of course the EU sanctions that we have to follow. For the COVID, I think shipping has been a success story and a prime example how we have turned the crisis to an opportunity. From the first day of the pandemic, we have recognized seafarers as essential workers, and from Cyprus it was made possible to make crew changes and repatriation of more than 65,000 seafarers. Cyprus was the only country globally that proposed a global vaccination program that was adopted in the form of an ILO resolution, and we have nationally established a vaccination program to cover 40,000 seafarers. All these actions by the Cyprus government, I think they were well appreciated, especially from the cruise industry. That's why you have witnessed the last couple of months in Cyprus a number of cruise ships calling and anchoring at our ports, including Cyprus as part of their itinerary, trusting Cyprus. And I do believe that this is a sector of enormous potential for our tourists, for our economy, for the next few years. When it comes now to the Ukraine war, for the first few weeks of the war and Russian invasion to Ukraine, we have received a number of requests by the shipping companies how we could respond to this crisis, to the fact that a huge number of crew couldn't access their salaries. We have acted directly and through the support of the Cyprus Central Bank, all the financial institutions, all the associations that are dealing with electronic payments. We made possible that all seafarers that are affected, they can open current accounts on a fast track from Cyprus banking institutions, responding and helping the shipping industry. But throughout the process of the formulation of all the sanction packages, we have signaled to our EU partners and to the European Commission the importance of shipping and the importance of having sanctions with the less possible loopholes to be uniformly applied, to be effective. And I must say that we have managed to convince, especially under the 8th package, that all these measures should go hand in hand with strong implementing tools in order to make sure that ships, they will not flag out, fly the flag of a third country and continue to trade with Russia. I think now our voice is heard of a level playing field in order to make sure that the EU shipping industry will remain strong, because we do believe that a strong EU shipping and a strong global shipping is a driver to energy independence and is a driver towards a carbon neutral economy. I do believe that by implementing in full scale our strategy, Cyprus shipping will become more resilient to crisis, more competitive, and of course will continue to contribute to a positive change at global shipping. Thank you.